Kentucky. We return some experience in several key positions. We have a great influx of youth also in our freshman sophomore classes, some players with experience at high levels both in college and in clubs. So feel really good about this group, a very competitive group, and we have a very tough schedule this year, so it's going to be exciting few months. Well, I think all the teams that returned that went to the NCAA tournament last year, I feel are teams that are going to again compete to be in the top 25, to compete to be in the top 10, and to compete to beat all the best teams in the country. So I feel like our league is on the upswing, and I think we've made dramatic improvements over the last few years, and I don't see that stopping, especially with the addition of the SEC network, the open recruiting bases that have really spread a net across the country that we can recruit to. So I think the SEC this year in particular is going to make some noise.
I think most coaches would probably pick Texas to win it, and then after that, I think there's a lot of question marks because of some losses in the conference, some losses in personnel. I think it could be a really interesting race. I think the best thing that could happen for our conference is if some other teams within our conference could start to challenge Texas for a Big 12 championship, and hopefully we'll see that from a few of these programs over the next few years. Kansas returned some really nice players, and obviously they had a great season last year, so I think they're very good and very physical, and have the personnel to match up with some of the best teams in the country. But I see Oklahoma in that same boat, and K-State I think is going to be better, and Baylor I think could emerge. So I think there's a lot of teams capable of it.
We're so excited to go into the ACC. So many phenomenal coaches and established programs, such a tradition of winning. I think it's going to be exciting for our volleyball program. I know our kids are excited because it just takes the program, it gives us opportunity to be in a very challenging situation. So I expect it to be very hard because, like I mentioned before, so many good coaches, so many good athletes, and so many people that have experienced winning at a very high level. So it's one of the best conferences in the country, and we're fired up to get in there. I have so much respect for what a lot of the programs have done, and even in the last few years with some of the programs that have been taken over by new coaches, and the grounds that they have gained, it's been pretty incredible. So to say where I know we're going to fall, it's really hard to say. We want to go in there and compete for championships. That's the goal, and that's the goal of our kids. And so we're going to go into every match expecting to win. However, I think we're going to be in, for some battles, and that's what we're excited for. We're young and athletic, and we're a pretty feisty team. So I think that there's times where we're going to have a lot of momentum. There's going to be times where we take ourselves out of matches just out of our youth or inexperience, but we're never going to be counted out because we play too hard and believe too much in each other. So a fun team to get behind.
Well, this might be the most volatile year of the conference that I've seen. But you start with probably Washington and Stanford on top, simply because Washington has almost all their starters returning. Stanford has almost all their starters returning. But then as things get really crazy, I think we'll be in the hunt with those guys. But then you have some newcomers like Arizona State, who has been working to get their base strong enough that they can be consistent throughout the year. We think Colorado is loaded with talent. Oregon has lost a couple players along with Arizona, so we're not sure where those two are going to go. Cal thinks they're going to be good, but trying to figure out where they're going to get their kills. I think UCLA is down in the lower third now, with still not having point scorers coming in, but Washington State has, I think, 7 to 9 new freshmen coming in, and they're loaded with young kids. Utah, I think, has got some young kids, and then Oregon State at the bottom end feels like they may have one of their stronger groups in a while. So you don't know how it's going to work out. We just know that every night is an unbelievable battle.
We're looking to take that next step as a program. We got We returned most of our players. You know, we graduated one player, Anne Marie Hickey. We graduated her, and you know, we bring back a couple of injured kids, Jules McHaleson being one of the main ones that we're going to get back. We bring in a couple kids that I think are going to have the ability of fighting for some playing time. So, you know, depth is going to be a lot better, a lot stronger than maybe what we were last year, and that creates some different potential issues and things. But we should be deeper, a lot more positions than what we were a year ago. I think you saw, you know, how many Big Ten teams made it in the Sweet 16, and you know, last year, and I think that shows, you know, every night it's an incredible battle. That's one of the things I love about the conference. You know, I'm kind of still a new guy in the league, but it's you know, I think just the talent is really good. You know, you're in a league like that, you're going to graduate a lot of elite talent. We certainly did, but you're also going to be bringing in a lot of big time players, and you know, and other players that are just going to step up. And it just, you know, I don't see the leagues, you know, slowing down at all. I think it, you know, it seems like almost every year that conference is getting better and better. And I think that's certainly going to be the case. I think the conference is really, really deep right now. I think there's, you know, you could easily see, you know, a half dozen teams that are in there in the mix of winning it all. And you know, we're certainly hoping that we're going to be one of them.